All right, guys, I'm just testing out my camera. I had to buy a new laptop, so I just want to see what this camera's like. It's not great. It's a basic one, but let's have a look. It's better than nothing for now. Yeah, I was planning to do a live stream today, and it's really stressed out because my laptop just broke, and I quickly had to go and buy another one. It wasn't easy because a lot of the laptops they didn't have them in stock. So I ended up having to buy this laptop, and I don't really like it, but I'm going to be grateful. It's better than nothing. It's just a temporary laptop until I can buy a more. I'll get a better one. I had just had to rush and get the one that they had in store. But let's try and do a live stream today, and try and make something positive. There's always a positive in every negative. I'm learning that, and today I really flipped out a bit, and I should have just been calmer. It's, at the end of the day, it's just a laptop. It's not life and death, but it feels like that because I don't have a TV. My laptop's everything. Like most people, it's my TV. It's what I organize my stuff. It's got my YouTube channel. So I was worried about all my new passwords. Because when you buy a new laptop, it's not just a mere fact of spending money on a laptop. It's the fact that you're worried that you're not going to remember your new passwords of your Facebook, your Instagram, your YouTube, your Gmail. I've got editing programs. I've got all these different programs, and I'm not really a person who I'm not someone who is that organized that knows every single password, but I'm trying to work on that and write things down. Good to see you, Jason. Good to see you, Bobby. You know what it's like when you buy something new, you always feel a bit sad because you get used to the old laptop, and then after a couple of weeks you grow into the new one and it's fine. It's for part of life. Let's keep this on. But yeah, I think the camera's slightly better on. It's slightly better on this one than it was on my other one, but it's not picture perfect, but it's better than nothing. So I plan to do a talk today on social anxiety, and I was going to cover a few more things and answer some questions. And I did a brilliant video today, and unfortunately, the memory card that I saved it on, it's not compatible with this laptop. So I don't know how I'm going to get the footage. I'm gutted because I've done a great video on social anxiety. Best one I've ever done. I really enjoyed it today, and I was about to upload it, obviously, and then my laptop broke. I've run out in a rush. I've had like an hour before the shops closed, bought this new one, and it's not compatible with this memory card, which has got the new video that I've done. So I'm going to try and figure out. I know what I'm going to do actually. I'm going to take this to my mum's place. My mum's she's got laptops, and I'm going to upload the video via my mum's laptop so I don't lose the video. So I figured a way out to do it. USB from the camera to the laptop. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Good to see you guys. But you know what? It taught me something today, right? Everything's a lesson. It taught me that when you have a problem in life, my dad used to tell me this. It's not always easy to do in the moment when you're stressing out, but you just got to try and relax. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's not like there's no like. Eventually, I'm going to buy a laptop, right? But the stress, like the anxiety, it just goes to show how attached I am to my laptop and how most of us are. My stress was, oh my God, like the shops are going to close in an hour's time. What if they close tonight? I'll have nothing. I'll just have my phone. And obviously, like I said, I don't have a TV. I haven't used a TV for years. My laptop's my TV. I use YouTube, and I've got Netflix, and I do everything on my laptop. And I got so used to the other one. It's like being in a relationship. It's like dating someone. You get used to it, and when it breaks down, it feels like someone's died. But when you look at the facts, it's silly. It's replaceable. It's technology. And it was probably a good thing anyway, because my old laptop was just falling apart. Good evening, Jeremy. Good to see you. Good to see you, Slava. Good to see you, John Jones. Yeah. So I'm going to connect today with the topic, right? And I'm gonna share some stuff, and I want to catch up on how everyone's doing. Let me keep this on. Let me just get some water, right? I guarantee this live stream is going to go good, right? I didn't want to let a laptop. I didn't want to let a laptop spoil my day. I think my character should be. I should have a better character where I'm not going to allow, a laptop to ruin my life and make me like feel depressed and down, especially when I'm really been feeling good and getting in a good place and I actually focus on how I can help other people. So let me just get some water, sorry, and we'll crack on and try and make a good conversation at very least. Okay. Greetings. So how are all of you doing? Before we get started today, tell you what, it's not too bad, It's not the worst laptop in the world. It's a cheap one. It cost me 220 quid. It's still, the crazy thing is, guys, in 2015-16, I had two Apple Macs that cost £1,000 each, right? So that's £2,000. And do you know what's crazy? When I look back, it feels like I didn't even appreciate it, And after I went through some trials and tribulations and, had a breakdown, financial challenges, my mum got me a cheaper laptop. And do you know I appreciated that cheap laptop, which cost around £280. My mum was good. She bought it as a present for me when I came out of hospital. I appreciated that more than the Mac, which cost £1,000. And I had two Macs, by the way. One which I gave to a friend, which I'm glad I did that. And one I left it in hospital and I never got it back, but that's fine. That's life. But I know when I get my finances good at, which I will, I always do, I'll get a more expensive one. But for now, you know what? When I think about it, I'm fucking happy, man. I'm grateful because there's people that are starving around the world. You know what I mean? That couldn't even afford a laptop or a phone. So I'm not moaning at all. It was just a worry, the panic. Like, has it happened to any of you? Let me know in the box below. Have any of you like broke your phone or your laptop or your iPad, and all of a sudden you're panicking because you're going, oh my God, I've got all my contacts, I've got all my data online. What if I can't get in? Yeah, I'm not a fan of Apple. I found that the Apple laptop looks beautiful, it looks attractive, but it doesn't have much personality. Wow, we've got quite a few people on today. So today's topic is about how to work on your social anxiety, right? And basically, I did a really good video today. It's one of the best ones I've done on social anxiety. I was in such a good mood, really positive energy, great advice that could really help people who struggle with social anxiety and some complications. I will get the video up soon. So I'm using that's brilliant, John Jones, £100. I'm not a cheapskate, but I'm not someone who follows the crowd. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go out and buy, a £2,000 laptop just because it's the latest one out and everyone's going to get it. I'm not like that. I'm going to get it because I'm going to buy what I like. No, to be honest, I think it's ridiculous. Personally, right? I'm not going to watch Mayweather versus Logan Paul. Nothing against him. I don't know nothing about him. I'm just not into. I'm not into watching these fights that are just about the money. I'm really turned off by this kind of stuff. I think it spoils the sport of boxing. It devalues it. Look. All the best to the guy at the end of the day, right? I wish the guy all the success in the world. He's obviously a very successful YouTuber, right? And businessman. Good luck to him. But at the end of the day, I think it's wrong that, any YouTuber, I mean, I'm a YouTuber. Can you imagine me fighting Mayweather or someone like that? It just wouldn't be fair. He's not a proper boxer, Okay, he's doing boxing, right? You've got to give him credit. He's getting in the ring. That takes courage. I've been in the ring. I've had an amateur fight. But at the end of the day, you know, Mayweather was a world champ. I just don't think it's right. But anyway, it's, whatever. It's going to happen, isn't it? We're living in such a different time now. But I think it's crazy to think that a YouTuber, a nobody in boxing, can just call out the world champion and fight one of the best fighters of all time. But to be fair, Mayweather's doing it for the money. It's not going to be a real fight. There's no way that Mayweather's going to risk losing. Mayweather's 43 now. He's not going to lose to anybody. He didn't want to lose when he was competing. So this is a money fight. This is entertainment. You know, these guys are going to make a lot of money. So um, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I'd love to see Manny against Mayweather again, even though they're both in their 40s. I think that was great. Anyway, I could talk a lot about boxing. Um, yeah, the Errol Spence is amazing, man. I did a post on my Instagram about that guy. The guy nearly died in a car crash, and he's survived it, and he's come back in boxing, and just he's unbelievable, Errol Spence. What can you say? Unbelievable. Um, to think that he'd been in that car crash, I don't know how he survived it. God knows. And then I didn't think much of the exhibition. I'm not a fan of exhibitions, to be honest. I watched the highlights of the Tyson Roy Jones, but I wasn't excited about it, to be honest. Again, seeing they're well past their prime, I'm not excited. I'm more excited about the current boxing fights. I mean, look, good luck to them. I'm not being negative. It's great if they can make a lot of money for charity, and they did it, great. Good luck to them. But I'm not. It ain't gonna work on me personally. I'm not one of those fans who gets excited. I mean, it's like saying, it's like bringing who's old now. There's so many old great fighters, but yeah, I'm not excited about an exhibition. It wasn't a proper fight, guys. I mean, Tyson wasn't going all out. He wasn't throwing hardly any shots to the head. Roy Jones was just really running around. It was a good bit of entertainment. It's a good bit of nostalgia. I'm not really for exhibitions. I don't enjoy them. I appreciate. I love boxers, but for me, it just puts a damper on it. I think it devalues the sport. When you get these exhibition fights and it's just not the real thing. I don't like it. Yeah, I watched the Spence Garcia. I think Errol Spence he's just brilliant. He's just a monster in the ring. I really like Danny Garcia, but what can you say, man? Errol, the true Spence. He's just unbelievable. He looks unbeatable. He's got to fight Crawford, man. That's the fight that we've got to see in boxing. Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. I didn't know you guys were. I didn't know that you knew your boxing fans. Because when I've done videos before on the channel, they don't get many views on boxing. So yeah, like all the streams that I do, it's we tend to go off topic, which is great. The live streams I do are very authentic. I just come on the camera and I just start talking, and I think that's why they work really well. So I'm really happy to answer all your questions, guys, and I hope all of you are doing good. Yeah, I think the lighting's a bit better on this camera, than the last one. I know the quality ain't great, but at least you can see it. Do us a favor, hit that like button, guys. We've got 16 on board, only 4 likes, and we'll get into this and have a good conversation. Yeah, excuse me, guys. I'm a bit stifled because I'm still a bit anxious about the laptop, even though I've got it sorted out. I don't know why it really triggered me today. It's amazing, isn't it? I can handle really tough things in life, and I'm very mentally strong. I like to believe I am. I've got through a lot. I'm a very positive person, but something so small has really got to me. That's the humour of life. But I do feel grateful that I was able to get a new one. But it is sad to let go of the old one. My thoughts on Tinder is the same thoughts on exhibitions, on YouTubers fighting world champion boxers. I don't feel good about it. I really don't feel good about it. I'm not going to be dogmatic. I'm not going to be anti. I'm not anti exhibitions. I'm not anti Tinder. I'm just not excited about it. And but at the end of the day, I don't want to, I don't want to be negative and put people off because, if one of you go on Tinder and you find the love of your life, then that's brilliant. But at the end of the day, I've never liked online dating. I've never liked the idea of it. Thank God I haven't had to do it in the last my whole life. I've never had a date from online dating. I've never been out of a woman from online dating. But then again, I know a few friends and previous clients who it's worked for them. So try it. Everyone's entitled. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion at the end of the day. But anyway, the good news is, oh, we got 20 people on say this is great. What's up, Marcus? I really appreciate you. Thanks for supporting me for a long time. How do you deal with anxiety, not social anxiety? I've made a new video on that, Marcus. I've done a new video. I think you liked it. You watched it on the channel. How do I deal with anxiety? There's two ways I deal with it. The first way is I have to really change my mindset, right? I have to really stop myself from being too scared, becoming a bit of a coward. And the second way is I face it. I'm very good at facing it. Today I had anxiety about doing this live stream. It's not because I'm anxious about doing a live stream. I've done hundreds of these streams, and you guys are such nice people to speak to, so I feel comfortable with all of you. But I was anxious because I didn't get to plan it in the way I wanted to and with the laptop. But so I'm just dealing with it now, So any anxiety that I've got in my body now, I'm just fighting it and I'm just showing up and trying to help people and be myself and just take action. So that's how I deal with it. I think differently about the anxiety. I choose to think differently about it when it comes up in my life, and I take action. And the more action you take, the better you feel. I understand how you feel, Jamie. We looked at each other for 2 seconds and I walked full of fear. I'll be 26 next year. My fear of women is still getting the better of me. I understand that. It's more common than you imagine. All of us guys, all of us do. We all have a fear of women. We all have a fear of being rejected, but it's all about building your confidence and practicing. And just don't give up, Jamie, because it will get better. That's what I learned about my anxiety. Um, hey, Lesbos, good to hear from you. Hey, Johnny, hope you're well. Are you having a meet up for Christmas? Um, I'm not sure about that. I've got to make a decision because, as you guys know, as you know, Lesbos, this year's been a real challenging one for everyone, and I'm going to be spending it with my family, which I'm happy about. So I'll let you know by next week if I'm going to be doing a meetup. I'll try and do a meet before the Christmas, but I'm not promising because it has been a stressful year for everyone. So, but I'll see what I can do. But in the meantime, at least we've got the live stream. But I hope you're well, all of you. But I am going to be doing a lot of videos on this channel again on social anxiety, on how to get more confident speaking to people, social skills, and I have been doing a lot of videos on how to quit porn addiction. I know it's not the best topic in the world. It's not something that I particularly want to speak about all the time, but there is a demand for it. When I do polls on YouTube, I don't know why, but the two top poll people always ask me, do a video on porn addiction. And the videos get a lot of views and traffic, and they seem to help people. So it is frustrating that I do videos on other topics and they don't hardly get no views. And they're videos that I really appreciate. Like I did a video the other day on panic attacks, on how to overcome it or deal with it in the morning. And I think it's a brilliant video. It's really from the heart. It's got all the little tips that work. it only got 200 views. And one of the videos I did on porn addiction got over 4,000 views. So it's a strange one, you know. It's yes, that's right. That's right. Porn vet. The best way to overcome anxiety is exposure. I haven't found any therapy that comes close to getting over your fears. So it's you know it's not logical getting over anxiety in many respects. It's not logical. It's illogical. It's practical. You have to keep exposing yourself, and it's all about momentum, you know. Now, regarding the I'm not doing videos anymore, going out on the street approaching women and putting them on YouTube, unfortunately. And my reason for that is it's just not where I'm at anymore. And I did it for many years, and I'm taking the channel in a new direction. But I'm still going to be giving relationship advice to you guys or anyone who needs it. So I'm still going to be, you know, giving dating and relationship advice because I've got so much experience, as a lot of you know. But I'm just not doing those videos anymore. I don't feel comfortable doing that anymore, and it's got nothing to do, you know, with the media or what other people think. It's how I feel and what I think. You know, I could get thousands of views doing those videos. I could always make a lot of money doing it, but for me, I'm not. I'm not controlled by money or fame. I have to. I have to follow my values, and I did it for many years, and I don't regret it. I had a great time, but now I've moved on. Going to be doing, you know, more live streams, more of the videos that I've been doing. So, you know, I'm 37 now. I don't really want to be running up and down on the street with a camera pointed at me, approaching women. For me, it doesn't feel right where I'm at my age. It felt right back then because it was right. That's where I was at as a person. I was younger then. I'm a lot more mature now. My thinking has changed a lot. But I am grateful for you guys, the support, because it was those videos that really built my brand and my business at the time. But you know, it wasn't the only videos, but people did like them, and I do understand that. And they were very revolutionary for that time, you know, the time I did them. But I have no regrets, you know. And you know, you guys probably think I'm crazy, but I've literally deleted almost every video off my channel of me approaching women. It just feels like a bit of an ego thing now. And I, you know, if I have a kid in the future, I don't really want my son seeing his dad on the internet, you know, approaching women and getting phone numbers. And it just doesn't feel right for me now at this age. So that's my reasons. Well, that's a long conversation, you know, that's a long conversation, how to deal with an unsupportive family. That's something that I can't really answer that in one question. That's a long conversation, and there's many sort of angles on that. So, but yeah, on a positive note, I hope all of you are good, and yeah, I hope you're positive. I hope all of you are well. Let me know what you've been up to during this time. Yeah, I mean, I see your point, but I just don't want to do those videos anymore. And I can still offer people advice in the video. You know, I don't have to go out and I don't have to demonstrate everything to teach it. You know, um, yeah. Well, like I said, man, for me, this year has been about moving on to a different chapter, letting go. You know, I'm sad. My laptop broke down. What can you do? You got to move on in life, and I'm gonna inspire people in a different way. I believe I'm on to bigger and better things, and I'm going to help more people anyway with my experience. So, you know, Muhammad Ali, Bruce Lee. I'm not saying I'm these guys, but they didn't have to continue. They didn't have to keep demonstrating that they could fight. People knew they could fight. that's how I see it. I don't need to keep demonstrating that I can speak to women. People know I can do that. And it's not what I'm passionate about anymore. It's not something that particularly drives me. I don't have that ego anymore where I need to be seen to be good with women or dating lots of women. I don't care about that stuff anymore. For me, I care about family, um, making YouTube videos that I like that inspire people. Most of the videos I like making are on social anxiety. I care about doing the right thing for me, and I don't live for other people. And I mean this respectfully, guys. I appreciate your support, but I don't live for your opinions of me, whatever you think. So if you don't like it, then that's your problem. That's not my problem. If you like the videos that I used to do, that's great. I appreciate that. But I'm not going to do videos just to make people like me or follow my channel. If that's the case, then don't follow me. Then that's fine. Because you know, in life you move on, you grow, you don't stay where you are. But and like I said, a lot of you are newer to the channel. People come to my channel for different reasons. There's a new audience now who comes to my channel for social anxiety advice. They're not, interested in seeing me talking to women and stuff. Yeah, of course, John. We develop, we grow, we learn through experience. When you're 37, you kind of hope that you're not going to be doing the same things that you were doing. I'm not saying all things, but when you were 14, 15, I'm not going to act the way I was acting when I was 19. It's just not appropriate. It just isn't appropriate. I'm not a fighter anymore. I'm not a boxer anymore. I was a boxer in my 20s. It's like people saying, "Why don't you still fight and box?" It's because it's not where I'm at in my life. There's things that I'm interested in now. So it's the same for you guys. And realistically, you have to become your own man. You shouldn't need to rely on having to watch another guy approach women. I know it helps, guys. I appreciate that. But you have to find your own way in life. You have to then, it's probably a good thing because guys will stop going online watching my videos and they'll go out and actually find some self confidence in that way. So, yeah, right. Anyway, so these are some tips with working on your social anxiety. Because of the lockdown now, obviously the rules are a bit different. I think it's really important to be as social as possible, and I'll give examples of it. I think any opportunity you get where you can speak to your family more, I think you should take it. Or you can have a phone call with a friend, you should take it. Or you can do a live stream like what I'm doing now. I think that's really important for, not letting your social anxiety get out of hand, keeping your confidence up. So it's about practice, really. The more social you are, the less social anxiety that you're going to have, and the more confident you're going to feel about yourself. So it's really about keeping up the practice. I've got no idea, Robinson, what that is. No, I'm not up to date with all these terms. There's a lot of things today that I don't even know what it is. People are asking me, "What do you think about this? What do you think about that?" And I haven't got any idea. I don't really follow cults. I'm not, I know it sounds crazy. I'm not really following a lot of the stuff on social media. I don't really like it. A lot of it's very negative, and it's a bit too, I don't know, it's too egotistical. I kind of follow like positive stuff. Well, I wouldn't agree on that, man. Women have got social anxiety just like men. I have quite a lot of women who follow my channel and for help and advice. So social anxiety doesn't differentiate itself by gender or creed or age or background. Women have social anxiety, men have social anxiety. It's not about gender. For me personally, my advice for guys has always had to always have a great attitude towards women. I think it's not cool, you know, to have a bad attitude towards anyone really. So it's important. I think that's one of the key things with building relationships and being successful with women, if you want to call it that, is to have a good attitude and a good outlook on women. Because if you haven't got a good attitude towards women and you haven't got a good outlook, then they're not going to have a good outlook on you. Just like anyone, if you're rude to people and arrogant and nasty, people are not going to like you and they're going to probably be the same way back to you. So at the end of the day, there's good and bad in everyone. I know a lot of guys will say, well, Johnny, you know, this woman's cheated me, this woman's hurt me. It's like, yeah, that's not nice, obviously. But it's not like every woman's like that. The same way when if a woman says, well, this guy did that, there's good and bad in everyone. And for me, throughout my life, um, the way I was brought up with my values, even though, you know, I've just like all you guys, I had things that were done to me when I grew up that weren't nice from women and guys. I still maintained a good attitude and respect towards women, and that's um, probably one of the reasons why I was, without sounding big-headed or anything, why I was pretty successful after my mid-20s with getting a girlfriend and being in relationships, because I had that respect for women. I think that's why a lot of people like my videos as well, if I'm being honest. I think that's what separated my videos to a lot of the other videos online, which I didn't really agree with. That I wasn't a pickup artist. I was a genuine guy. I had a lot of respect for women, but I was also a confident person who was natural and honest and sincere. And it came across, you know, what you see is what you get. And that's something I'm very happy about, because that's how I was brought up. You know, I had a lot of love growing up from the female side, you know, in terms of my mum, my aunties, my grandma, um, cousins, and stuff like that. So that love towards women was there from the start. Obviously, like most guys, I had my struggles with my anxieties and low self-esteem, which is what got me into self-help and stuff like that. So that's also a great rule of thumb for getting over social anxiety, having a good attitude towards people, you know, treating people the way that you want to be treated. Doesn't mean being perfect, no one is, but yeah, spreading hate will make you miserable. That's why I don't understand people that go online and spread hate. I just wouldn't even consider it. I wouldn't even waste 2 seconds. It's okay, obviously it's okay to have your opinion. You can say that you don't like something or you do, but going online and spreading hate is just a lost cause. But you know, there's people that are going to do it, but there's a lot of positive people that won't. Um, that's 100% true, Lesbos. It's totally true, and that's kind of my message. Confidence is everything with women and people, and if you're not going out and you're not socializing enough, then the confidence, it will start going down. 100%. That's true in my experience. So confidence is not permanent. I don't think people are born, no, I don't think people are just born confident. Confident is a learnt behavior. It comes through repetition, it comes through practice. Yes, some people are born with certain qualities that are strong, but generally with things like social confidence and social skills, you have to develop it. I mean, I couldn't be doing these live streams talking to you guys like this in, you know, in 2010, 2009. I didn't have the confidence. I didn't have the social skills. I didn't have the self-belief, but now I do, because I've done this for a long time now and got more used to it. And that's my message to anyone who suffers with anxiety. Any anxious person who's got social anxiety, or whoever has got a fear of talking to women, or who's got a fear of talking to people, if they push themselves in that situation again and again and again, and they practice being sincere and honest, they're going to be a much more better person, a lot more confident. Um, but I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not going to lie and say it's an easy thing. It's not easy. You know, it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of work. It's very stressful. It's very emotionally painful to have to put yourself in situations which, you know, which are very uncomfortable. but it's worth it in the end, you know. How do you deal with people that are annoying at jobs because of some of them make a person have anxiety? Well, I mean, for many years, I worked for myself. So the way I dealt with it was by building my confidence up and, you know, building my own business and becoming my own boss. Because I've been through what you've been through, Dark Johnny 6, where people were treating me bad and making my life a misery. So I did the jobs for as long as I could do them. You know, I was worked hard. I'm sure, same like you, Johnny. And when I got the confidence, I eventually left those jobs. Um, yeah, I agree with you, Bobby. But it's all good. I'm a positive person. I don't let things like that get me down. So I think I've learned today, just through speaking to all of you, for all of us, that having a good attitude is so important with getting over social anxiety and stuff. But practice is the key. And I am going to be doing a lot of videos next year, on, you know, social anxiety and ways to build confidence in all areas. A lot of relationship advice for guys that are interested. And just to let everyone know as well, because I've been getting quite a few emails about coaching. I'm not working at the moment. I'm taking time out. I am 100% hoping to return back to work full time next year. And I'm going to, you know, rebuild my business, get a new website. I'm going to start doing a lot of Skype coaching like I was doing before. I'm going to do some in-person programs and some stuff. So I'm going to probably write a book. So big things for Johnny Berba, and I hope for all of you in 2021. And I'm actually excited to say that I've been through a lot of challenges. I've had a lot of failures, a lot of breakdowns, setbacks after having a lot of success. And I think my life experience could really benefit a lot of people that might be struggling, um, because I've really grown from adversity. I don't think I've seen Midnight Cowboy. You asked me that before. I'll have to check it out. I haven't seen that. I know the name. Is it? I know the name. I appreciate that. But yeah, in the meantime, I've just been doing a lot of free stuff because I really enjoyed it, you know. And I've actually, for the most part, been turning down a lot of money, and I think that's because I've got good values, you know. And there's a part of me that thinks, oh, I could really do with the money, but I'm not. I prefer values over money first, integrity. So yeah, hopefully when this coronavirus thing finishes, um, and I've got more opportunities to coach people, then I will get build my business back again. But I'm honestly not complaining. I think this is a blessing in disguise for me. I think when people hear what I've been through, what I've gone through in the last couple of years, I think they'll not, you know, I think it's going to help a lot of people that might be going through things that I went through that they don't want to talk about. And I've got, you know, a new perspective. Good to see you, Fred Vlogs. Pleasure. Wow, we've got 25 people on the live stream. It's looking good, and I didn't even plan this one today. Oh, one just dropped off, 24. I spoke too soon. But yeah, I broke my laptop earlier, got stressed out about it, and now I'm good. But yeah, all I feel like I need to do is really share my life experience with people, and it will help people to you know, it will help people in their lives, you know, without telling people how to live or what to do, that they can take some experience. For me, the definition of a nice guy is a guy who's not honest with people. That's the definition of a nice guy, a guy who is scared, and hasn't yet got the confidence to be sincere with people. So it doesn't mean he's a terrible person, but it just means that he's afraid, and scared, and you know, the whole niceness can be very disingenuous. You know, you can be telling someone something and you don't really mean it, or sometimes nice guys will say yes when really they mean no, and it's not a great thing for your character. But you can definitely overcome it, because I was like that in when I was 19, 20. I would say I was like that in my very early I was like that at 19, 20, and I changed it. I overcome the nice guy look. And there's nothing wrong with being nice. Being nice is good. But the classic stereotype that you guys and girls are talking about is not a genuine person. You know, the nice guys that um, women generally tend to reject because women can sense they're not sincere. And nice guys have usually got quite, by character they can have quite a nasty streak to them. I mean, we all have that side, but they're not sincere. That's my definition, and they need to change that if they want to be happier. They need to start being honest with people. And it's a bit like what I said earlier. I'm not going to do infield videos because all of you want me to do it just to please you. But I don't feel good about doing those videos anymore. I don't want to do videos of me going out approaching women on the street because I've matured, I'm older, I'm in a different place in my life. You know, there's things that are more important to me than that. Video, I'd rather do a live stream like this. This is the new evolved video. But if I was to be a nice guy, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll do a video on that, despite how I feel, because I want everyone's approval. That's not cool. So that's kind of how I see it. Pleasure, Marcus. That's a good question, Bobby. That's a good question. I think if you just take away the game element and get rid of all that, then it can always be moral, right? It's like me talking to you now. Is it moral or immoral? I think it's moral because there's honesty, there's love, there's integrity, and so I'm being sincere. So as long as you're sincere with women and you don't use this game stuff, then I think it is moral. But that's a very deep question. But as best as I could answer that, I would say day game isn't moral because of it encourages manipulation. It encourages cheating people. But you can take that away and just be genuine with women, and then you're being moral. You're not cheating. You're being honest, which is what I taught. Um, we can meet online, but no, meeting in person wouldn't be appropriate for me right now. Obviously, I don't know who you are. I don't know nothing about you, but if you need help, then you've got the stuff online. Do I travel to different states? Yeah, I used to. Yeah, I did quite a lot of traveling outside London. I've been abroad to a couple of countries. Dark Johnny. I'd like to do more, but obviously with this pandemic, it's kind of got in the way. I mean, this happened to everyone, right? Everyone's plans have been put on hold, or there's been a lot of suffering with this, which is why I really try and stay positive and stuff. So I can't really guarantee anything in the future at the moment. I don't think anyone can with what's been going on, which is why I'm saying I hope to return next year. I really hope to return to full time work coaching because I've got a lot of potential clients out there that can do with my help, and I really enjoyed teaching. But with the way things are at the moment, with the rules and the restrictions and this virus, this pandemic, nothing's guaranteed. But I'm positive that it will eventually get better. But at least in the meantime, right? At least we've got this. We can communicate. We can connect with one another. Wow, we've got 25 people on today. That's really great. I really appreciate the support, by the way. Um, I hope all of you are doing good. But yeah, it wasn't an easy thing to do the other day. I mean, I deleted over 200 videos. It was sad, there's some great memories and the videos have got thousands of views, but I had to do the right thing, man, and it felt really good to do it. I couldn't, just have videos on it's a bit difficult. Look, I'm 37. I had videos of me when I'm 31. And it's like I'm a different person now. So it was just like, I want to move on from some of this, and the memories are good, but I just don't want to have videos of it every kind of, everything that I did back then. I just want to move on. Yeah, that's a great question. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of stuff in my spare time. It's been really productive. I can tell you guys what I've been doing. It's been quite regimental. I've got my sleeping routine good. Um, I've been cleaning a lot, which I've been really enjoying. And by that I mean I've been cleaning my apartment regularly. I've got a routine. I've been doing a lot of shopping. I've been doing a lot of sightseeing. I've been doing 2-hour walks around London to help me keep fit. I've lost weight, by the way. I don't know if some of you can see. My face is slim again. I'm really pleased about that because I actually got overweight during the lockdown. I wasn't happy about it. So I took some advice from Nick, my personal trainer, and some other people who told me about intermittent fasting. So I've been intermittent fasting and it's been great. I've lost weight. So that's what I've been doing, Lesbos, and doing a lot of YouTube videos. Um, and speaking to my friends and family and watching loads of boxing. So boxing, discipline, walking, and making YouTube videos. That's me. What have you been up to during your spare time? What have all of you been up to? That's the main question today. For those of you that are single out there, I totally understand how you feel. It's really, really painful for guys. I was trying to explain this to someone the other day, and they were kind of I was saying you don't know what it's like until you've experienced it, especially when you've got anxiety. But rest assured, don't lose hope. Things will get better for you. And really, what you need to do is when you're single, you need to get yourself in the best place possible by finding happiness in your life. But back to what Lesbos was saying, finding some hobbies in your life that give you confidence, that make you happy. And then you need to start dating. But I know at the moment it's difficult because we've got restrictions. But when things get back to normal, unless you're in a city where things are normal, start dating, do the online dating, go to social events, speak to women, interact with women. I encourage you to do that until you find, a girlfriend or the right person. So it's not over, it's not over because you're single. You can turn it around. And a lot of people are single at the moment, and I'm single as well myself. I was a former relationship expert. I was in, been in many relationships that have been great. But as things stand now, I'm single and I'm staying positive. And the advice I give all of you, I apply it myself. Yeah, yeah, I could give tours around London. I've been doing these blog videos. I've got a new YouTube channel, by the way, guys. I think some of you subscribed. I appreciate it. It's called Become Fearless. There is a link on my channel, and I've been doing a lot of podcast interviews during the lockdown to inspire people. So I've got a good little project going with that. If anyone wants to, hear some good stories, people's life stories, these people have got some great advice that they can give you. But that's some of the main tips today to work on your social anxiety. Keep practicing being social as much as you can in your life, whether it's on the phone, whether it's at work, whether it's at uni, whether it's on YouTube. Um, you know, that's funny. It's good that you got your sense of humor, Eagle. But you'll get a date. Don't worry, you'll get a date soon. You're great, guys. So don't give up. Don't lose hope. The main thing is, I know it's hard, but you have to stay positive because it will change. I know sometimes things feel like they're just the same. If you've been single for a long time and you've been having anxiety for a long time and things haven't been going well, you start thinking to yourself, it's never going to go well. My life's always going to be like this. But that's just fear. It will change. It will go well again. You've just got to be positive. You've got to control the things that you can control in your life, and then you've got to accept the things that you can't control in your life, and things will change for you. You can always rebuild a relationship. If you're single, and there's positives in being single. You don't have to stress that someone who's got a family, who's got married, or some people are in relationships that they don't want to be in. That's not a nice problem to have. So being single gives you a lot of freedom. It gives you time to develop yourself. it could be life-changing. So sometimes when you're single, I really believe it's because it's not the right time for you yet to meet someone. And this time now is the time for you to develop in other areas of your life. And when you do that, you'll come to a point where it will be the right time and then you will meet someone. So it's all about being positive. And when you're positive and you've got a good attitude towards other people and you try and help other people out, then things work out for you, you know. So at the end of the day, it's a journey in life, you know. It's a journey, and things can change for the better or the worse in a heartbeat. So just appreciate it, appreciate every moment, and just try and be good. It's the best thing to do. The best thing to do when you're thinking of bad past memories is take your focus off and put it onto something new and positive and fresh. You need a goal, Johnny. You need a goal. You need a new challenge. When you've got a when you've got a new goal and a new challenge, it takes you away from the past. It puts you into the present. It gets you excited. You get into something, you know, like when you're younger. But I understand your question. It's challenging. Guilt, same again, you know. With guilt, I just say my prayers with God, you know, and just say I'm sorry for the things that I've done wrong, and I hope I can repent and address them, and you can help me out, and just move on and just try not to make the same mistakes again. And you know, sometimes when you're guilty about things, it might give you the solution through the guilt. You know, the guilt itself might be teaching you something that you have to do in your life to get past it, to improve it, all kinds of things. So if you can take a positive from every negative thing that you're going through right now, you'll be in pretty good stead in life. You can change things. And I'm learning from champions. You know, Errol Spence Jr., the welterweight champion of the world, was an amazing boxer. He was in a car crash, right? You know, if you see the footage online, if it's still online, most people would have died. You know, would have been dead with the car flipped over like, several times. And Errol went to hospital, Errol Spence Jr., and he didn't break a bone, nothing. And he came out, he lived, which is amazing. And it took him about 15 months to get back in shape. And he just fought yesterday and won the championship again. It's incredible. It's inspiring. I was like, if he can do that, then what can I do in my life? You know? So even the world champion, who was a multi-millionaire, almost died in a car crash. And he said it changed his life a lot. It made him appreciate family more and to change the direction of his life, because even though he was a great champion, I think he was starting to go down. He was starting to go down a bit of a negative path with the going out, the womanizing, drinking, and now he looks like he's in a much better place, and he's going to be an even better. He already is a better fighter and a better person. Yeah, I definitely will do a book. Um, I'm in the process of getting a memoir together, a book, and I suppose doing these videos and helping people is a part of that. And I didn't find the right time, but I knew I didn't really need to force it. It will come, and I really do believe in 2021 or 2022. Then there will be a book or some kind of memoir. There's going to be a lot of. I've got a story to tell. Basically, I told the first part of the story to the world. It inspired a lot of people, which is great. And now I've got a second part of a story to tell. The first chapter was really my journey with social anxiety and struggling with girls and getting a girlfriend, and then how I successfully did that. I've shared that story with the whole world, and that's why I appreciate you guys for appreciating me sharing my story, and it's helped a lot of people around the world, which is great. But the second part of my story is, I guess, the mental health struggles that I had after building a lot of success and really living a dream life. And I come from a normal background, but then there were some challenges after. I had everything was going great, and then I had I had a breakdown. I had a mental breakdown, and everything crashed down on me. But then I got a new perspective on life, and it's been about rebuilding myself. So there's a lot of information to share from that. There's a lot of videos to do and talks, and I believe they will really help people in this area of anxiety and depression and things like that. So I, I'm I feel good about that. So yeah. Yeah. You can work on social anxiety if you've got a physical disability. I really believe that if you're very obese, you can still work on it 100%, 100%, and you can improve that, you know. And I'm not being patronizing. If someone's very obese, then they can lose weight, right? That's something that you can do. That's available for you to do, and you can work with the disability, you know. You can still live a great life. And to be honest, I think most of us have, have had, I've had a mental disability. A lot of people don't know that. And look how far I came, with what I achieved and what I've done and continued. I'm still battling it. I'm still battling a mental disability. And I know some of you have just said that you've got physical disabilities. So within these really challenging things that we have, there is hope to work around it and still live a good life and be a better person. 100%. Well, for me, I wasn't really interested in sleeping with lots of women. That was never really my objective. My objective was to really just get a girlfriend, fall in love, and get over my insecurities. But like a lot of people, I went down a different path, and I got. I suppose I was young. I got caught up in wanting to, have attention from a lot of women, and I look back at that now, and I see that as a mistake, as insecurity. But I know that some guys don't see it like that. But it's just really about your age. It's really about important to you, and you know, getting laid with loads of women is it's not my objective anymore. And it's not what I teach anyway. But I do understand young guys. That's what you want to do when you're young, and some guys even in their 40s and 50s. But it's not something that I'm particularly passionate about, and what I'm really interested in talking about. I'm more interested in, if I can, helping guys to build, more of a solid relationship, a woman, a long-term relationship, something meaningful, as opposed to the opposite. But yes, guys are going to do what you're going to do. You've got your own mind, you're your own man. Was it anything like what? To be honest, no, that's not gonna disrespect me. But you've been like decent and asking me. Was it like one flew over cuckoo's nest? I wouldn't go that far, but it was similar to that in ways. But I'm going to share that anyway at the right point. I'm quite an open person, as you know, and I suppose I'm open with the things I choose to be open about. Um, depends who you want to attract. With money, status, do they matter? Depends who you're talking to. They can. It depends who you're talking to. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care about that stuff. I don't judge someone or whether they got money or not. I couldn't really care about that. I judge people on their character, what kind of person they are, they choose to be. But we don't really live in a world like that. We live in a different world today where social media, fame, and money and status seems to be. It seems to be something people really seem to gravitate towards. But for me and a lot of my friends, it's not. It's not something that I particularly care about. But that's a good question. I'm going to make a video about that soon. Yeah, I understand that. I understand your fear, Mohammed. with a lot of the negativity in the media, I think it's about changing your mindset. And again, I had that tendency as well. We all do, to worry about things going wrong. It's more normal than you can imagine. Everyone has that. I have that. I'm not gonna lie about that. But it's how you deal with it. It's learning to think positive and just try and get through it. That's the best advice I can give. It's not perfect advice, but it's the truth. So I think every guy, when you don't know someone and you're going to go and speak to them, you do have your own fears and worries that the person's going to think that you're harassing them, or you're not being sincere, or you're going to come across wrong. And I think that's a big part of getting over these anxieties. You've got to learn to have more confidence in yourself. You can only really do that through practice and experience and gaining new experience, and developing a better attitude with yourself. So it's an ongoing thing. I think a lot of it is not listening and watching the media stuff as well. If you watch this stuff in the media, it's just going to poison your mind. It's gonna make you think that everyone's like that, and they're not. It's not every woman that thinks you're harassing her. A lot of women don't think that. If you're honest and you're respectful and you're confident, and you be a man and you're sincere, a lot of times a woman's not going to think, oh, he's harassing me because he's speaking to me or saying hello. That's like looking at the worst case scenario. That's like putting a negative spin on anything in life. That's like taking a tabloid view on life. And the hundreds of interactions I've had with women have been very positive, really positive. But who wants to talk about it? The media don't want to speak about that. They don't want to speak about positive things. They don't want to speak about love, about positive things happening. That's not part of their agenda. So I don't focus on what they're doing. Um, so a positive message. Most times, if you're positive with people, they'll be the same back. I do think, there's always a negative force out there. There's a negative force that really tries to break the relationship between men and women. And it's really about learning to fight that force, because there's so many great men and women out there that want to meet each other, and they don't have this negative mindset of harassing someone or anything like that. And as long as you're not harassing any woman, which I believe you guys are not, then you've got nothing to worry about. You're not harassing anyone. You're sincere. You've got a mum. You respect women. You have women in your family. You have female friends. Why are you going to do that? You're not doing that, so don't worry about that. And for guys that are doing that, then they need to pay the consequences of doing that. If you're going out and you're harassing women, obviously that's not right. But most of you, if not all of you, are not doing that, and I'm not doing that. So don't focus on such a negative outlook on yourself and on women. Oh, people Mike Tyson has anxiety. Money doesn't take your anxiety away to a large degree, to a certain extent. Everyone gets anxiety. Tyson Fury has anxiety, had a mental breakdown. He's a multi-millionaire. So money doesn't take away the fact of anxiety. If that was the case, every rich person would be anxiety free, and they're not. Most of them are in therapy. I'm not being arrogant or disrespectful. I'm just being honest, being straight. I've had a mental breakdown, so I'm not judging anyone or being disrespectful. I've personally been through it. Um, and I've had money at times in my life. Made good money, and I've also been broke. When I was broke, I had anxiety. When I made money, I had anxiety. So there's no correlation with the amount of money you've got. And of course, I understand for people that are struggling with money, that can give you anxiety. But what I'm saying is, just because you have money, it doesn't mean that you're not going to suffer with anxiety. Anxiety doesn't care for color, creed, background, gender. It doesn't care for your finances. It's true. It's true what I'm saying. Yeah, it's just changing that mindset, Mohammed. Like you said, if there's 1% of women out there, you think you're going to be unlucky, which I can understand, but it's just changing your thinking. Yeah, I mean that's true, David. There's no denying that. There's some people you feel comfortable around, and there's people that you don't. Right, that is a part of life. It can be a bit awkward sometimes, but it's just one of them things, isn't it? The key thing I've learned amongst many lessons is never giving up in life. Never giving up no matter what. Whether you've got anxiety, whether you've got no money, whether you don't have a good relationships at the moment. If you don't give up and quit and you work hard and you believe in yourself and you do the best you can to be a good, positive person, your life will change. You can make money. You can make friends. You can make a new life for yourself. It's not easy, but that's why you should value it and do it. It's a challenge, but you have to fight. You have to be a fighter in order to do it. Well, that's like anyone, David. I mean, I think if everyone's being honest, everyone, can like people, and certain people you just don't feel you can have a dislike. You don't have to make it personal. You don't have to like tell them and act it out, but it's just really about the way that you feel. I don't know how to answer that question right now, George, to be honest, because it was that's not really been a problem I've had for a very long time. But I suppose my advice would be to you in that situation is like any sort of impulse temptation that you don't really want to do is just got to fight it, I guess, and focus on being grateful for the relationship that you're in. It's a difficult thing for me to give you advice on because I don't really know the ins and outs of your relationship at the moment. But just on the surface, from what you've asked me, focus on what you've got. And, you know, if it seems the way you're asking that question is you're tempted to be promiscuous or to cheat and you don't really want to do it, so don't do it. Yeah, I was bullied at school. I think a lot of us were, David, which is why my advice is to help people to rebuild and not let that crush them. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. That's right, Les Boss. That's a great attitude to have. If you're going in with good intentions, there's nothing to feel guilty or ashamed about. Wow, we've had quite a lot of people on today, and I didn't even. I'm trying to promote these talks more. Uh, yeah, it's not easy living with the social anxiety, but you can improve it, David. You can work on just gradually improving it. Um, and you're still young, 50 is still young as far as I'm concerned. You still got a whole life ahead of you, so you still got time. I really appreciate your that means a lot, Mohammed. I really appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot. Uh, do you mean CBT? You wrote CBD there. Oh, CBD oil. I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that. For me, in my experience, another thing that reduces anxiety is getting a good night's sleep, is getting a good sleeping routine. Look, the main scientific things that work: a good sleeping routine reduces anxiety, gym, fitness, and exposure therapy. They're the best things I've found. Well, look, if your therapist was a total arsehole, then that's unfortunate. Find a different one that you get along with. That's nice. Don't give up, Jason. Still, you got your whole life ahead of you. 44, still young. I know it's hard, it's easier for me to say it, but I've suffered with it the same as you guys. But you got to push forward and, follow the stuff I've been putting out on YouTube. It will really help you. And a lot of it is about building your confidence and, learning to live with the anxiety, um, which can really help you to find more happiness. But you should check out the other videos that I've done. All the information is on the channel. You just got to kind of go through some of the videos and take notes, and then go and apply it. Oh, that's great. 30, you still got your whole life ahead of you. It's a great age, 30, you're still young, 30, 44, 50, still young. Still a lot of life in the tank. It's fine if you're a virgin. There's nothing to be embarrassed about being a 23-year-old virgin. Um, you're still young, you meet someone. There's nothing wrong with being 19 and being a virgin. There's nothing to feel embarrassed about that at all. It's quite a special thing, to your virginity. So probably want to share it with someone that you get along with. I think that's the honest truth of anxiety, is that it takes a lot of work to improve at it, but it's like anything in life. Improving your anxiety is a full-time job or a full-time hobby. The more you put in, the more you're going to get out, and no one can force you to do it. I can't force you. Your therapist can't force you. You've got to want to do it for yourself, and then when you put that work in, you're going to see a great improvement. It's really about becoming fearless. It's really about moving forward with the tremendous fear that we all feel in situations, and just learning to accept it and just to work with it, rather than trying to fight it in a sense of, getting upset that you have it, because everyone's got anxiety to a large degree. Some people manage it better than others. And my anxiety never ever fully went away. And I did loads of work. I built a lot of success. I, got myself in a good place in life. It did improve though. It did improve a lot, and I did change as a person for the better. So that's my message to people. I'll be honest and straight with people. I'm not going to bullshit people and say, yeah, I've got over all of my anxiety. I'm perfect now. I don't have any anxiety, because it just wouldn't be the truth. And I'm confident that wouldn't be the truth for you as well when you figure this out for yourself. But you can really improve it. That's the positive thing in all this. You can still create a good life for yourself. You can improve it. You can get rid of it in certain areas. I would agree on that. But I don't think I don't have the science myself, or haven't seen anyone who's got a pill or a remedy or a therapy that can completely take away anxiety. You wouldn't be human, and yeah, the younger generation can be like that. When I was younger, you just got to ignore it and be your own person. Sometimes you just got to not follow the crowd. The crowd's wrong. And if someone makes fun of you for being a virgin, it's a bit of a silly thing to make fun of someone of. So I really feel sorry for anyone who's making fun of people for being a virgin. That's not really a great. You're not really being a good person by doing that. Nothing fun about that. Can you take exposure therapy too far? I think you can take anything too far, George. I think you can take anything too far in life. So yeah, you could overdo it, possibly. You could burn yourself out. I know I did that in periods. I probably took it too far, but then I learned, and then obviously got the balance right. But I think it's better to do a lot of exposure therapy. It's the best therapy out there. For any of you that don't know what that is, exposure therapy is a therapy where you expose yourself to things that frighten you. Agoraphobia, social anxiety, any phobia or fear that you've got in your life. But there are practices where, and I taught this in my teaching as well, which was just common sense for me. You don't have to face the fear all in one go. That there are, within the exposure therapy, it is encouraged to gradually expose yourself. So I'll give you an example. If a person was afraid of people and was afraid of leaving the house, maybe you'd get that person just to go outside of their house for 5 minutes and then tell them to come back in their house. That would be a form of exposure. And then when the person felt a bit more confident, you would make that person go down to the shop and maybe say hello to someone at the checkout. And then when they could do that, you would push them into having a long conversation. Do you understand how it works? So it's you don't exposure therapy doesn't necessarily mean you just face everything in one go. It doesn't mean that. It depends. It can be that. It's a brilliant therapy. I'm super passionate about it because it's the only one. It's the only one that worked for me personally, amongst many other therapies that didn't work, that failed, and people promised that they work and they just didn't. Yeah, not comparing yourself to other people is one of the best positive attitudes to have, because as soon as you compare yourself to other people, you just get down, you just get depressed. You just tell yourself, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, they got this. Oh, he's my age. He's got more than me. Oh, they've made that amount of money. Oh, he's doing this. Oh, it's just, you're never going to win. But if you compare yourself to who you was yesterday, then you're going to be happy. Yeah, everyone's unique. Everyone's unique 100%. Wow, we got 28 people on. There's a lot of people. This tells me that social anxiety is it's a problem today, and I know that, which is why I'm putting the videos out. What's up, David? Greetings from Colombia. I know you're not very interested in books, but okay. No, do you know what it is? Let me just reiterate something. I'm not against books. I'm not against books. What I was saying for many years online, I'm against people reading books as a therapy to build confidence, because it doesn't work. So my encouragement was that if someone's got social anxiety, or they're scared on first dates, or speaking in front of the camera, reading a book is not going to solve your problem. You have to face the fear in reality. You have to face it on a practical level. But if you like reading books, then that's great. And obviously, if you want to educate yourself, then books are probably the go-to things to do. So that's my take on it. But I have read some books and enjoyed them. So I don't want to make the mistake of people thinking that I'm saying that books are bad. I never said that. I've heard the name Carlos Castaneda. I've heard the name. I know a bit about Interesting Useful from the 70s. I appreciate you recommending me that. So, we've learned a lot today. Today's been really positive. Just talking amongst everyone, some great tips and things that people will take away. Let me know in the comment section how many of you have taken at least one positive thing away from this live stream today, not just from hearing me speak, but speaking to everyone, seeing people's point of view. I certainly have, so I'm going to write number one. So write number one if you've got at least one positive thing today from this conversation that's going to help you, that's helped you in your life to better deal and work on your social anxiety. Let us know. I really would be appreciate that. You're at 2, 1. That's great. Awesome. We've got George there. We've got Animal. He wrote 2. That's great. You've got 2 positive things from today's conversation. Romeo, I appreciate that. John, I appreciate that. John Joe's many on the list. You're very welcome. Yeah, I'm looking to do a live stream every Monday. I kind of have kept it up quite a lot. So yeah, that's good. That's great. You feel inspired to do some therapy, and that's what really it's about, getting inspired. Johnny's got 2 there. That's great. Really good. I've really enjoyed it. I've learnt loads. I think the key thing I've learned today is appreciating having a conversation with good people. You know, just being able to socialize amongst each other. I've really